Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Blind Maestro coming at you with some information about musicians being flexible. It's really important that as musicians we're flexible no matter what type of music we play, what style, what genre, because flexibility is going to make us more marketable. If you're a church musician, you might be in a situation where you're playing by yourself if you're at a small church, but you also got to know how to be in a situation where you play with other musicians. It's really important that if you're a keyboard player especially, you learn how to be flexible, because you might be in a situation where you're playing with just two players, or you might have to do some rhythmic things that you're not used to doing if you play by yourself. You might have to play sparsely in some places, but it's really important to be flexible, because there are a lot of musicians that can't play by themselves, and then there are a lot of musicians that can't play in groups. So in order to make yourself more marketable, somebody might call you for a gig about playing at a church just for a little background music. You got to be able to play by yourself. Somebody might call you to play with a band. You got to be able to play with the band. And if you overplay with the band, or if you don't play enough by yourself, you can ruin that particular gig, or you can weaken your chances of getting another job. So it's really important that we be flexible, and also financially flexible, because there are a lot of different financial gains to music, but sometimes you have to take the small gigs at first to get the bigger gigs. Sometimes you might have to take a little cut and pay, but if it gets you 3 more shows that pay you twice as much, then you've actually gained instead of lost. So flexibility is really, really, really important for musicians, especially in technological terms also, because you got these, new keyboards, and you got these new gadgets that do all this stuff. Well, if you stuck in the 1970s where you just playing a little Fender Rhodes that you can only play one thing on, the world is really going to pass you by. You got to stay up on technology, stay up on recording techniques. Even if you don't record per se, it's really good to know that, because you never know when you might get a call to do a studio session. You might get a call to help somebody out with some things, and you might get a call to produce something, but you still got to know the leading edge technology, the leading edge techniques, so that you can be effective at that. I've learned also that as a musician, you got to be flexible in terms of what you do. If you're just a musician solely, and all you do is play and perform, sometimes that might run a little dry for you. But if you are a performer and a producer, then when your performing runs a little slow, you can go and produce a couple of things. And if you're a writer, that's even better, because writers get paid. Performers get popularity, but writers get paid. If you don't get a show, you get royalties off of what you write. So it's important that you're flexible in that way. Also, in terms of being a composer, if you can compose different styles of music, people will call you and will want you to help them. And if you can do lyrics and music, then that makes you even better. Now, myself, I'm only a musician. I'm not a lyricist per se, but I got enough flexibility to be able to help out, in a lot of different areas. And God has really blessed me to be able to do my music full time now. I'm not where I want to be, but I am getting closer to where I need to be. So all musicians out there, just want to advise you to be flexible, be open. Don't get stuck in a rut where you only play what's in your comfort zone. Be willing to step out, because you never know what calls you'll get.